Hello everyone, welcome to NeoUnrealist. So CD Projekt Red's Cyberpunk 2077, it's scheduled for release on April 16th, 2020. This is probably the most anticipated game that people are waiting for right now. And probably because like Rockstar Games, CD Projekt Red is one of the few companies out there who seem to be able to deliver on games that get a lot of hype prior to release. I mean, think about it. In terms of a single-player RPG, CD Projekt Red's game, The Witcher 3, is to many people the pinnacle of that genre. So the game by which all other single-player RPGs will be measured against, going forward. So it's not as if this hype is completely unwarranted. They've delivered before in their last game, in fact. So ever since CD Projekt Red released their first game, The Witcher, in 2007, it's pretty much been hit after hit. The Witcher 2, The Witcher 3. So all highly acclaimed games by critics and gamers alike. And I want to make it clear that for a game development company, they're actually pretty good when it comes to providing value to the consumer. I mean, for The Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red put out something like, 12 free downloadable content releases? I mean, that's very unusual in the squeeze every penny out of the gamer AAA video game industry to give away so much free content after the game released already. So in the last year or so, we've finally gotten a look at a little bit of what's going on, what's going to be in the Cyberpunk 2077. And so far, wow. I mean, if anything, the footage that's been released has been very impressive so far. It shows a depth in some ways even more than what The Witcher 3 had, if it can be believed. So the biggest thing that we've seen approximating a problem that the developers have had in the run-up to the release was like certain members of the alphabet people community, and you know who they are. They were complaining about the usual issues of alphabet people representation. Would you be able to create an alphabet person character? Now, understand, the reason this is a big deal is because unlike many game devs, CD Projekt Red, they really lean into the, shall we say, non-family friendly content. I mean, intimate scenes are very prominent in, say, the Witcher series. Something like 16 hours of motion capture content were shot, just for Witcher 3, just for those kind of cutscenes and animations. So they really put the mature into the M rating with a capital M. No blurries, no censoring, no pixelation, no fade to black, just boom, right there in your face. Now, they resolved this issue by just saying, hey, there's two choices of model that you can select from, at the beginning of the game in character generation, and rather than explicitly naming them male and female, with text labels, they just put them up there without any text labeling, and no matter which body you pick, the male or the female version, in the game, your name will be the same, it'll be V. And if you want to pretend in your own head that your character is some variety of alphabet person, then that's on you and just how you want to play. So that wasn't good enough for some alphabet people, of course, but when are they ever happy? So today's news we see on Reddit. A Redditor named Shavod brings this to us, who says that they attended a CD Projekt Red community meeting in Warsaw, and it took place at a place called the Meta Gaming Bar. Now, during the Q&A session, among a lot of things, he had the following to say. About sex scenes, they did a lot of mocap for those, and they believe that their amount should, quote, satisfy everyone, which should calm down anyone who assumed that they will just skip those entirely just because the game is in first person. So PC Gamer ran with that as well, as Games Radar, based on the report of this Polish Redditor, mind you. But it's noteworthy that while CD Projekt Red didn't confirm this report, the Reddit post made by this Shavod person was replied to by CD Projekt Red's global community lead, Marcin Momat. Now, Momat replied to the post with no denials, didn't make any corrections, so you can speculate that if their global community lead didn't see any misrepresentations of what CD Projekt Red said at the Q&A, he'd probably have raised it there. Sounds legit to me, that's what I'm going to go with. So it just makes sense. I mean, look at this footage. from the 48-minute deep dive gameplay video that they put out months ago. I mean, does it look like there's going to be any holds barred in this area? Here we got a female-bodied main character, V, waking up after some dude wakes up first to do the walk of shame out of her place so she can go through her morning ablutions and go to see her Ripper doc. So the last really nagging question I had about the game seems to have been basically addressed here. This game is not going to hold back on the mature content, and we're not going to get a dumbed down and filtered Cyberpunk game. Some other news that came out of the Q&A is that the game's main storyline is going to be a little shorter than the one in The Witcher 3, but it's going to have more branches and potential playthroughs. So they also said that, even after completing the main storyline, you as the player will still be able to continue playing the game after that. So there's no real game over point. It's really when you decide it's over. Even if you finish the main quest. I think most people what they're going to do is they're probably just going to, play through the first time, keep that game save if they want to keep playing. And then after that, they'll just start new games and try to get different playthroughs, try to get different endings. And, given the depth of the quest and the story branching, it looks like it's going to be very hard to get the same playthrough every time, especially if you go through the extensive side quests. But, the game's going to have a day and night cycle, so that's going to impact gameplay. For example, it was said like darkness will reduce visibility, and depending on the area that that you're talking about, you could expect to find, say, a reduction in crowds. It'll make some areas easier to access if you're not supposed to be there. There's going to be a dynamic weather system that, like, for example, it was said where if it were to start raining, non-player characters that have umbrellas, they're going to take them out and open them up. Non-player characters who don't have umbrellas, for example, they'll have a different behavior. They're going to try to seek shelter and try to keep dry. So the environment was also revealed will be about 3/4 destructible. So almost anything you see, you're going to be able to wreck. Car customization apparently is going to be a thing. And while they're not looking to make a vehicle driving simulator kind of a physics model, they said it's going to be more simulation, more towards simulation rather than arcade type, vehicle sim. Than say that they said it's going to be much more than, say, Grand Theft Auto 5 is. Now we also learned that the police in Night City, where the game is set, in game they're going to tend to look the other way for small crimes. That if you commit them in front of them, you could probably beat someone up in the street, and they're just going to chalk it up to just another day in Night City. But if you pull out some iron and you start shooting the place up, or you try turning your vehicle into a truck of peace and drive it through a crowd, yeah, then the cops are going to come out and they're going to try to put you down like a rabid dog. So, I mean, one imagines if you were to, I don't know, pilot an attack helicopter and open up with 20mm cannons on a building, you're probably going to expect a response to that, one imagines.
It was designed to be a tourist hotspot within the city. As you can see, this didn't pan out.
So yeah, that's about it from from the Redditor on that. It's it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, Turkey Day here in the U.S., and this game doesn't drop for almost 5 months from now. So obviously, you could expect between now and then we're probably gonna see a decent amount more on this title. So like just the thing that I think the biggest thing that people are looking for now is details on the multiplayer game. So far, they're not being forthcoming about that. There's going to be microtransactions, so in the multiplayer game, and they claim it's not going to be pay to win, which CD Projekt Red, let's be honest, they have earned enough credibility to get cut some slack, and let's take them at their word until proven differently. I would hope that microtransactions will be restricted to purely cosmetic things like clothes and accessories, not in-game advantages, or if they. The other thing they do with microtransactions sometimes is that they make the game on purpose grindy, and then they'll sell you microtransactions so you can avoid the grind. To me, I don't like that either, but let's see. Until they say more, the jury's still going to be out on that. So let's just leave it there. To recap the main point, yes, in Cyberpunk 2077, there will be boobs, there will be pubes, and all the degeneracy you could probably ask for. For those of you who are asking the comments of a previous CP 27 video, you got your answer. That's all for this NeoUnrealist. If you want to help the channel, do me a favor. Hit like for this video. Leave a comment below and mash down on the subscribe button. If you're not already subbed to the channel, you just click on the notification bell beside it. Put it on the all setting if you want to keep up with newer content. Otherwise, it doesn't really do anything. Now, if you want to contribute directly to the channel, toss your hard-earned dollars, your eddies into the tip jar, follow links below to Patreon, Subscribestar, or PayPal. If you're watching it on BitChute, you can just click on the green tip pledge button on the video player. Hey, thanks for watching.